What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Tutorial Boss Guapo, and with me is the man who loves Mario so much he decided to show up in 8-bit, the one, the only Mike Caldwell. Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, and how you doing? I got to do what I got to do, man. Apparently, I'm having some connection issues, but I'm here.
Well, and I'm glad that you are, because we have a lot to talk about this week. Before we do, got to throw some thank yous out there. Want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro-outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. They are working on album number 2, and you can see all the progress heading over to their website, labor12.com. That's laborxii.com. I want to thank Joe and American Legacy for the Not Your Average merch. We got the hats, we got the beanies, we got the skull caps, we got the bandanas, we got all the things. So American Legacy, thank you for that. I want to say a big thank you to J-Reb's 3D printing because do you see this little piece of awesome right here? That is a J-Reb original. My boy Cameron hooked it up for us, and we take it to all our shows with us. If you have a logo that you'd like to see in a light box like that, then check him out, jrebs3dprinting.com. Thank you to heckyeahradio.com for keeping a Not Your Average Mark button. If you should so happen to miss the podcast, shame on you, shame. But it happens sometimes. So if that happens, head over to heckyeahradio.com and you can listen to an audio version of the podcast. Thank you to Blind Ambition Studios for our awesome graphics. Thank you to WrestlingSociety.com for including us in the podcast room. And of course, thank you to the one that makes it all work, the guy, Patrick. Thank you so much for what you do. One of the things he's done that you should definitely check out is our website, www.notyouraveragemark.com. We got all sorts of good stuff there. You can buy merch. You can see where we're going to be. You can get bios on it. It's a cool website. So check that out. And our newest addition is our Discord. If you have not done it yet, check it out after the podcast. You can go to the About section of any of our socials and find a link to our Discord. Join up. We do watch-alongs for Raw, SmackDown, and all the PLEs. It's a good time. We've done one for the Clown Show. We did one for NXT. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy every minute of it, and I want you to be there to enjoy it with us. I also want to thank the people that are joining us tonight. I'm looking over at the chat, and we've got Jello in saying he's so ready. We've got J-Reb saying, hopefully Guapo's face doesn't break the camera this week. Never happen. Never, ever. This face is golden. Or something like that. We've got the Texan Tag Team with us, one of my personal favorite podcasts to listen to. Saying hopefully everyone's nice to each other tonight. Of course we're going to be nice. We're always nice. And Aaron Marian saying hi to everybody. And Jello letting you know that you cannot do the podcast on dial-up, Mike. It just doesn't work.
I'm here, aren't I?
That's true. J-Reb saying Olden. Look, J-Reb, we're going to talk later. You don't talk trash to the people that know the secrets. I'm just saying. But let's get into some wrestling, shall we? This is, after all, a wrestling podcast. Let's start with some SmackDown, get the main roster moments in. We also have Janine Wade in. What's up, Janine? Glad you could join us. So let's talk about some SmackDowns. So tell me, Mike, what do you want to talk about? Because I would like to talk about how Paul Heyman is killing it with that opening. Like, he done stole Cody's line in the whole 9.
Yeah, it's Paul Heyman. He is the verbal masterpiece maker.
He is, in fact, and he's been doing this long enough that anything he comes out and says on the mic is going to be just great. Of course, this brings Cody out, and Cody asks what all of us have been wondering. So, what's up with Brock Lesnar? To which Paul Heyman doesn't let too much out before the Killer Bees show up. And again, shout out to Jello for the Killer Bees thing. I like that so much better than calling them the Vision or the Bronze. Chaos ensues. They beat up on Cody. Cody comes straight at him, though. I got to give him that. And who comes out for the save? The one, the only, the Viper, Randy Orton. And it was awesome.
Yes, it was.
I do like that they're putting Cody and Randy together. I really feel like we're gonna get back to Cody versus Randy, and it's not. I'm trying to figure out where we're going. Is it going to be a Randy heel turn that takes him against Cody? Is Cody going to turn? Like, what are we going to get out of this? I am excited to find out.
Can we not just have a championship match with two of the top contenders or two top people in the on the SmackDown roster going one on one with each other and make it a good match?
Do you even watch the product? No, you
Yes,
can't do it. It doesn't seem so as of late, anyway. That takes us into the Street Profits versus Mellow Miz. This is a great match. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Mello might be one of the greatest talents that SmackDown has. You put Mello and Tez in the same ring, and it's absolute magic. You add to that the fact that Tez is across the ring from the Miz, who elevates everybody he does anything with, and you're not going to have there's no way to have a bad match out of this.
Yep. Very much so.
So the Profits end up getting the win, and they're now 2-up on Mellow Miz. Do we see them making their way back to the Wyatts, going back after those belts?
I do see that happening again. I see the Street Profits as the alpha tag team, and the Wyatts just happen to be the placeholder at this moment in time.
Well, I would just like to say, in case any of the Wyatt Six are watching, that the thoughts and opinions of Mike Caldwell do not necessarily represent the thoughts and opinions of Not Your Average Mike Wrestling Podcast, because I don't want them to come after me. So, I would like to see it. I mean, they had a good run the first time as tag team champs, and I'd love to see them get the belts back. I think it'd be good. So we go from that to Julia and Kiana James versus B-Fab and Michin. It was a decent match. I just can't get into what they're doing with Julia. I mean, before anybody says anything, let me go ahead and throw it out there. Yes, I know you can't push everybody at the same time. I understand that. I just with all the hype that came with getting Julia to the WWE, I really expected something different, I guess is where I sit on it.
Well, yeah, of course. But, I mean, right now, Julia is in a spot where the in-ring work is there. The problem is there's not enough television time outside the ring with Julia to get a character over and get that evolution of the character going.
I can agree with that. I think some interactions outside of the ring would definitely help solidify that character and help us as fans understand the character better. And I think that's a big part of what it is, what is Julia doing? Like I like the mystique of her character. I just don't know enough about it, I guess. And I really thought like I said, with all the hype they had bringing her in, that we would have gotten more of that. I will say the big news coming off of this segment was seeing Sol Ruca and Zarya asking for a tag title shot.
Yeah.
I, for one, want to see Sol Ruca on the main roster. She is just absolutely amazing.
She is. And speed champion, and also isn't she the North American champion?
I do believe so.
So yeah, absolutely a star. And with the offense that she creates and that finisher that she has, it's guaranteed money.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And Zarya has a great character as well, and the two of them have really, really good chemistry. So I could see them standing across the ring from Charlotte and Alexa and it being a great match.
Yeah, I'm really digging the Charlotte and Alexa dynamic that they have right now,
Oh yeah,
and it it feels like they get closer every show, and
it does.
I believe at one point, before this is all said and done, somebody is going to come out while it's only one of them in the ring, probably Alexa. Somebody's going to come out and start talking trash, and Charlotte's gonna come up with her own mic and tell everybody, "Hey, you get away from my friend." And then
I'm
at
here
that
for it.
point, she's going to stop and go, "Shit, did I just say that out loud?"
Damn it! I said the F word. Well, talking about good matches, we had Sami Zayn versus Javon Evans. Now, there are two main things that I love about this match. The first being that Sami Zayn is using the open challenge exactly as it should be, a chance to put the shine on upcoming talent. When John
Oh,
Cena did it, that was his whole point, and that's exactly the way Sami Zayn's doing it, and I love every bit of that.
absolutely.
And let's face it, Javon Evans is all talent. Like, I enjoy watching him wrestle. And you put him in the ring with someone like Sami Zayn, who's another one that elevates the person he's wrestling and makes it a point to do so. And it's a great match. It was a great match through and through. I loved it.
It was a really good contest, and um, Javon Evans has money written all over him,
He does.
and I the only thing about him is the fact that he's only 180 pounds, and
But still,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that the star power, if he gets some size on him, the star power is going to grow with him.
I can agree with that. I can go with that. Speaking of star power, our main event, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jackson, Jade Cargill. This was a good match. I know all anybody's talking about is, let's call it, I don't like the word botch, so let's call it a miscalculation. Like, that's all anybody's talking about, and I feel like it overshadows the match itself. Like, there were some big high points in this match, like Tiffany hitting the swanton and then taking a super kick immediately after. That looked great. Like, she sold the shit out of that.
Right. But I mean, Jade Jade did an amazing job in this, considering, and with the whole referee situation, the miscalculation, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was something that she's been trained to do, and that's how the referees are getting trained nowadays up in the performance center. Is they know what the finish is, and if they're not, if it's not the finish, they're not supposed to count the three.
And I get that. I can't say much that I like it. I know there are, I'm not going to say any names, but there are promotions where the rule is, regardless of what happens, if you see it, count it, and it'll get fixed on. It's at that point the promoter's job to fix it. The ref should do their job. If the finish wasn't where it was supposed to be, I really feel like that's on the wrestler.
Yeah, it's definitely on the talent, and I got some training with Justin King, who happened to be one of the WWE referees early 2010s,
Uh,
and they were at the point at that point it was the you count three. If the shoulders are on the mat, you count three. You do not get the heat transferred over to the referee.
I mean, and I
And
agree.
if the talent doesn't kick out, then it's the talent's fault. And at one point, Vince McMahon actually had it to where if the referee ended up counting the guy on the mat before the actual finish, whoever got pinned ended up having to give their night's pay to that referee.
Oh, wow. Well, I think the match was good. All three of these ladies got the opportunity to shine, but at the end, it is, of course, still Tiffy time. She will be taking her belt to Crown Jewel.
Yes.
I'm looking over at the chat, and Jello saying if Soul had not lost a year to a knee injury, she would currently be wrestling Becky and Tiffy for belts. I agree with that wholeheartedly. No question. SmackDown was decent. You know, it wasn't really an episode to write home about, but then again, not every episode can be. I'll give it a B minus. I think that's my grade for it.
I can agree with that. There, you know, I would say that the main event, even with the miscalculations that we had, it didn't really hurt the show that much.
No, it didn't. I agree. I will say this. I'm going to throw this out there before we get into Raw, just because I haven't said it for a while. If you have not already done so, please go to all the socials, click all the things, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the thumbs up, all the things. Click them all. And just a little life hack for everybody. If you're getting ads while watching our podcast, and you just so happen to have Amazon Prime, if you click on subscribe for the podcast and look just under where all the cost information is, there's a little slider bar that says use Prime Sub. And you can subscribe to the podcast for free and get rid of the ads. So just a little hack there for everybody. If you haven't done it already, please do. It helps us out a lot, and we very much appreciate it. Now that we got all the self-promotion out of the way, let's get to some Raw. I love the opening of this show. I mean, honestly, who doesn't like them some Monday Night Mommy? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This whole thing they have going on with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky and Asuka and Kairi Sane, this is good for everyone involved. And this is why I say that. You give Rhea Ripley something to do that is not chasing the title. While Rhea Ripley is absolutely 100% a contender for the women's title, it gives her a different storyline outside of that. And it elevates Io Sky, it elevates Asuka, it elevates Kairi Sane while they're at the same time elevating Rhea. Like, this is good for everyone.
Oh yeah. That whole mesh that they have with everything is good television.
Yes.
I'll even go better and say it's great television.
You won't hear me disagree.
It's got your drama. It's got everything, and it's developing a personal issue, and that's one of the things that we were missing for quite some time in the WWE universe.
I agree. And we're starting to see a move back towards that, and I'm really happy about that. You know, I'm a storyline guy. I enjoy a good story, and this has all the elements of a great story. I will say, Io did look a little sad. You know, her friends, the Kabuki Warriors, attacking them. It did make her sad. She could. Some might say she was blue. You see what I did? See what I did there?
Yes.
It was funny. Damn it.
I appreciated the pun.
Speaking of things that are funny,
Like Smurf that.
she did look a little bit like Smurf. That the blue mist. I felt for her. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. I understand now the effects of the mist, and we'll talk about that here shortly. Get my blood pressure up. I need to calm down. Speaking of getting some speaking of getting some blood pressure up, Dominic Mysterio versus Rusev. I'm sure Dominic's blood pressure was through the roof. Rusev is a big dude.
Oh yeah. That was a really good, really well written match. It was I'm struggling to find the words for it. It was like, oh, Dominic versus Rusev, there shouldn't be any reason why Rusev isn't walking out with this title. And Dom proved everybody wrong. And hey, kudos to him. But now he's got a pissed off Bulgarian.
Nobody wants a pissed off Bulgarian. I'm with you in that. I went into this thinking there is no way in hell Rusev loses this match. That's the end of it for old Dom Dom. But I'll give it to him. Even see when he did the Eddie shtick, you know, he threw him the belt and then, you know, oh, he hit me, and the ref caught it. I was like, okay, we're changing it up a little bit. I like that. He took the opportunity when the ref turned with the belt to hit the low blow and get the win, and then hightailed it out of there, still the IC champ, which I can't say I blame him. But here's the thing. He's proven a couple of things here. He's proven that he can stand in the ring with Rusev, or run around the ring, as it were, with Rusev. But he's also shown that he's a resourceful champ, which is good. That's huge for character building. But the crowd, did you notice how the crowd was behind Dom in this?
Yeah, because that's one thing about it. I feel like you can take a babyface and a babyface and you can put them together and you can have a classic wrestling match between the two with stakes. You can't just have the match to have the match. But if it's for a title, it's for a contendership, it's for something. It has some sort of gravitas stakes to it. It works. You put two heels together, you're going to have a de facto babyface.
Fair. That is very fair. And in this case, that was Dom. But can you imagine for 1 second the crowd response when and if they actually turn Dom face?
Oh, it's going to be insane. And I mean, it's coming, but I still think there's a couple of more years. There's a whole lot of mileage on the Dominic Mysterio heel run.
Oh yeah, absolutely there is.
And they're about to blow him completely up in Mexico.
Oh yeah. He already gets that face pop, that LA Knight Cody Rhodes level pop every time he shows up at AAA.
Absolutely.
So, and well deserved, as much as I hate to say it. Well deserved. So we go from that into Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez. And I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely loving multiple personality Bayley. Like, that's good stuff.
Well, right now on the Raw roster, I am in love with 3 women, and they are all Bayley.
Exactly. If we don't get a 3 faces of Bayley in the Women's Royal Rumble next year, I'll be pissed.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
You know
just
how
go ahead.
awesome that would be? Of
Hey, Trips, I know you're watching. Come on,
course
man.
he's watching. Make it happen.
Give us a call. We'll talk about it.
I do. The other thing I love about this whole scenario is Lyra. You know, I'm a fan of Lyra Valkyria already, but her response and the way she's selling reaction to the different faces of Bailey it's the other half of the show. Like without that, the Bailey thing doesn't work quite as well. So I like that they're still pairing them together because they have really, really good chemistry.
Aaron has a comment in the chat. Says Dom needs his butt kicked bad.
I mean, I don't disagree, but
But that's the thing is, as long as we want that to happen, we're going to keep paying for it. We're going to keep paying for these tickets to see it happen, and it's not going to happen. So it's a continuing money making process at that point.
it really is. And going back to the Bailey Raquel Rodriguez thing, I don't even really have to talk about the match. It's Bailey and it's Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, it's a good match. Like
For sure.
It turned out really well. Of course, we got what we thought we would get at the end, and we got Roxanne Perez coming in and going absolutely apeshit. And then you see Bailey and her facial selling. Like you see her go from Bailey to Bailey, you know, scary Bailey. And she just starts laying people out, and I love it. I love everything about this whole storyline.
Have we looked at what's the catalyst in these? Is it the fact that she hits her head and then all of a sudden something happens? What's the trigger? What is going on with that? Have you paid much attention to that part of it? Because I believe it is Raquel slammed her against the guardrail, and that's when business picked up.
It could be that, but it seems like in that when they were beating up Lyra, she was sitting at the ropes, and you just saw her face turn. I almost feel like it's scenario based. Something happens and she just snaps. Because when Lyra starts yelling at her, you see her start, rubbing her head, and so I just almost wonder if it's scenario based.
I mean, it could be. There could, something's triggering it, and that's what we need to start. Us not average marks. We need to we need to check and see where that trigger is. What we're doing to get that trigger.
I agree, and I'm going to be watching a little closer for that now. This is probably going to throw you off a little bit because I'm going to switch things. But LA Knight and Kofi Kingston, a match made earlier in the night. LA Knight said he wanted to get at it. I wanted this to be a great match. I really did. And it had its high points. It was all right. But in the end, it felt like a filler match to give LA Knight a win. And I really, really hate that. Like I'm a fan of Kofi Kingston. I like Kofi Kingston, but it's hard to get behind him when 6 months of losing has completely killed his credibility.
For sure. LA Knight he's operating on a different level right now.
Agreed. He is operating on a different level. I hate to see Kofi Kingston in the position he's in right now. And I'm sure it's going to change. I hate where it's at right now. Looking over at the chat, Jello says we need a triple threat featuring Bailey.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be awesome. Also, Dom losing has become Cody chasing Roman. We will have to be almost convinced it will never happen before they pull that trigger in an epic way. I agree with that. I think that you're absolutely right with that. It does kind of become that thing that you want, that thing that you need. You know, everybody was all about Cody needs to finish the story, finish the story, finish the story, finish the story. And I think you make a valid point, Jello, in the fact that people are looking at Dom losing in that same mindset.
I honestly think they're waiting. They're waiting for the whole Finn Balor to get tired of the whole situation, and then at that point, uh, we're going to get a Dominic versus Finn Balor, and we're going to get that babyface Finn Balor back, and that's gonna be the change of the Intercontinental Championship.
So I haven't put it out there in a long time, but hashtag pre Finn Balor. There's just so much more they can do with him. So
You were
let's
so
talk
happy
about
when he did the thing the other day.
when he did what?
Said you were so happy when he did the thing the other day.
Oh, he did the thing at NXT, and I was he did the yeah, he did the thing, and I was so happy. Like it filled me with joy. Let's talk Cody and Seth for a minute. Helped that a lot. Like it helped it a lot, but it was the in-ring with the two of them. Seth Rollins is, you can almost see him starting to spiral a little bit. And then having Cody come in, you get the whole psychological side of it. And I like that. Like I like the psychological side of things. You know, Cody asking about, are you running things or is Paul Heyman running things? Were you running things when Paul brought in Brock Lesnar? You know, things like that to get in his, just trying to get in his head a little bit. And you can see that it's working, and I'm here for it. I like the psychological side of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to see somebody do to Seth Rollins what Seth Rollins does to other people.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a lot of fun to watch because he's just at the end, you know, towards the end of the show. Hey, you're not 8-bit anymore. I dig it. Towards the end of the show, he was like, I have to beat Cody. And Paul Heyman was like, of course you're going to be. He's like, no, I have to beat him. So you're starting to see him question himself and start to spiral. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I do like psychological things. I have actually been told, my wife and I, you know, Mama Guapo, we have a psychological relationship. I'm the logical one. Y'all don't tell her I said that. She'll prove me right.
The views of Guapo have nothing to do with me.
You saying that? AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Los Americanos. I can't believe there is a Los Americanos. What the hell?
And what are they said their names, and I can't remember what.
Rayo and Bravo.
Yes.
And the reason I can remember that is if Rayo would pronounce his name Rio, they'd be a John Wayne movie. Rio Bravo.
Okay.
Although that's long story, you would have had to have known my grandmother. She was all about John Wayne. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I enjoyed the match. It was good. Like, I got to say that Los Americanos have some good chemistry, but the chemistry I'm interested in is the chemistry between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Like, they're really good together. And just looking at AJ Styles and looking at Dragon Lee, that's what we're going to call them, AJ Lee. That's their team name.
Don't do that because I'm going to get confused.
No, but looking at AJ Styles and looking at Dragon Lee and how different their styles of wrestling are, you don't picture them being as good a tag team as they are. So, and that's one of the things I like seeing.
Yeah. AJ Lee has been taken, so let's just go ahead and call him Dragon Styles.
Oh, Dragon Styles? Dragon Style. I like it. Of course, also hearing that the fans are the ones that made the AJ Styles John Cena match happen, it was a good touch. Little thank you to the fans was a good touch in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that match is going to be fire.
Oh yes, every match I've ever seen that Cena and Styles are in has been fire, and this being the last one, the last time you get John Cena and AJ Styles together in the ring, oh, we're talking bonfire.
Yes. The only problem I see with it is having to get up at 7 a.m. to start watching it.
Don't you start cussing me. Jello's in the chat. I said something about Los Americanos. Jello's in the chat says this is how to take 3 mid-carders and make them an attraction. You're not wrong.
I mean, seriously, it's something something different, and it's working.
It is,
because
it's working well. The thing that gets me though is there are still to this day the Grande Americano thing's been going on for what, the better part of a year now? Like
Yeah.
it was what? It started out as Chad Gable, and then it was Ludwig Kaiser, and then so on and so on and so on. So it's been going on for the better part of the year, and there are still people bitching that they're spitting in the face of Lucha Libre and blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Sam Adonis has been running a similar gimmick minus the mask for the last 10 years down in Mexico. And there's not much there other than the mask, it's not much different.
Yeah, that's good.
So run with it.
I don't understand how people are still saying those kind of things, though. That brings us to the main event. Tornado tag team match, the Usos versus the Vision. We got to watch the whole thing in Uso Vision. See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
This was exactly the match you thought it was going to be. You know, the Usos came in hot, started beating them up. They started fighting back, take one of them out. And now the Vision's got the numbers game on one. And I'm expecting the run-in. While we're doing the watch-along, which you can catch on the Discord, make sure you check that out. While we're doing the watch-along, I even said it then. Here comes LA Knight. LA Knight's going to come out because they have this whole thing going. Here comes LA Knight. It was not LA Knight that came out. It was, in fact, the OTC, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Yes, it was. Surprised me. I was not expecting Roman Reigns to be the one to come out. It's not the run-in I was expecting, but definitely the one we needed. I say that, and I say it that way for a reason. This moves several storylines. Just having Roman come back moves the storyline he's got against the Vision. It potentially moves a bloodline storyline. It moves the kind of awkwardness that's going on between Jay and Jimmy right now. And it starts a storyline where Roman acknowledges that Jay is becoming more like Roman. And so, I mean, this moves so many things. And I'm here for it. I dig it.
Very much so.
Oh no, I'd have to say it was a pretty good episode of Raw. I will go out on a limb here and throw an A- at it.
I can agree with that.
I mean, for a week of wrestling, it has been a good one, and I enjoyed the shows. Jello saying that at the end, Roman was making Jay the tribal chief. See, I don't know if we're quite there yet, unless there's some video that I haven't seen yet. But I don't think we're quite there yet. But I think that's where we're headed, is we're going to make Jay the tribal chief, because from what I understand of the Samoan culture, Roman can't make Jay the tribal chief. That has to come from above him. So I don't know.
Well, with Alpha and Sika both gone now, or it could be one of those things where Roman can get moved up into the elder position.
Could be. And Jello send that to me. Jello says he has a video. Send it to me, please, on Messenger, because I do want to watch that. And if that is the case, that's awesome. But I figure, yes, Alpha and Sika are gone, but cousin Dwayne is the high chief. Last I heard.
This is true.
So, no, we'll have to see where that goes. That's the end of our main roster moments, and that takes us into everybody's, and I'm hoping Patrick's at his computer right now, takes us to everybody's favorite segment. It's time for Notes from the Clown Show. Oh, sorry, I was jamming out. Tony Khan, don't know if you knew this or not, Tony Khan is a clown.
No.
I mean, the rumors are true. I know you've heard it. The rumors are true. Let me tell you why. AEW and DC are doing a comic book crossover. There's going to be an AEW DC comic book, because that's going to fix everything. Let me explain to you something. I don't care how much Don Callis wants to be Lex Luthor. It ain't happening. It ain't never going to happen. He can't do it. Superman himself can't save this one. Batman doesn't have enough money in the Gotham Bank. The Green Lantern could have a whole handful of rings. And he still couldn't stop Tony Khan from ruining that product and running it into the ground. And no, before you ask, I will not insult Jimmy from the Daily Planet with a Dave Meltzer comparison. Just so that's said.
That's great.
I mean, I get it. Let me not say I don't get it, because I do get it. AEW and DC are both Warner Brothers products. Yeah?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's how you get the two together. But what are you... Kenny Omega versus Aquaman? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Is he going to have a broom as his superpower?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm trying. What are the superpowers here? I don't...
He points at things.
Will Ospreay
No. It's Orange Cassidy. It's got to be Orange Cassidy, because he puts his hands in his pockets and he gets superpowers.
It turns into a super kick. I love it. And I hate it so very much at the same time. I see what you're doing.
Yes.
AEW, I see what you're doing, and I kind of fucking hate it.
Yes. Absolutely, sure.
It would seem that Jello's going a little Yoda on us. Or no, he says Perry White is Dave Meltzer. I love it. And I will only accept this if we get to call Will Ospreay Flippity Man. That's it.
Come on.
Will Ospreay has to be Flippity Man. The European Flippity? I don't know. This whole thing, I don't get it, and it's driving me crazy.
So
I
we're gonna call
have.
Mike Bailey Karate Man.
I mean, it fits. That just, I'm trying to figure out names the way Tony Khan would.
Oh, you can't. Do not lower yourself your intelligence level that low. I'm telling you right now. Please, please, please don't do it. You will hurt yourself.
Speaking of low intelligence, in my opinion, next thing. Making his way back to an AEW ring near you, El Idolo himself, Andrade, has come back to AEW. Why? What are you doing, Andrade?
I believe that AEW and WWE are playing Andrade tennis right now.
Look, I get it. Okay, you split with your wife, and then you're working on the same show. I get that 100%. I can see where that could become a hostile work environment. I understand that. I do. It's taxing on the mental health. Like, I get it. Go to AAA. You know, 3 A's, not AEW, AAA. Like, what are we? Can he not spell? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand. I don't understand the move. I really don't. All joking and talking trash aside, I don't understand how lucha royalty like Andrade doesn't go to AAA with the perfect opportunity to do so.
You're not wrong. But I think he burned his bridge whenever he no-showed the WWE show, and WWE now owns AAA. So therefore, he can't make that transition because he got let go from that company. But the positioning that they have Andrade in right now makes zero sense. None whatsoever. Don Callis has a bunch of guys that and it the whole group has no mesh. It doesn't. It's like oil and water. It just doesn't go together.
There's no cohesion there. I agree 100%. Like, I don't understand it. How do you walk back into that? Like, you left for a reason. I don't know. Andrade, as much as I enjoy the way you wrestle and watching you do so, you too, sir, are a clown. We've got Jello saying, go to NXT. Exactly. Go to NXT. Do you want to know why? I'll tell you why. It actually brings me to last thing. The ratings game. 48 out of the last 52 weeks that NXT has been on the CW. Happy 1-year anniversary to NXT on the CW. But for 48 of those 52 weeks, they have beaten AEW programming in the ratings. Like, be NXT.
I'm glad you brought that up because there's another little fun fact that goes along with that. The last entire year of WWE NXT programming until and continuing on, they have had an African or a black champion in NXT.
Wait a minute. That can't be right. Dave Meltzer said that Triple H is a racist.
That's right. He did. And he was wrong.
He's-
Because Dave Meltzer and Tony Khan, they're clowns.
They are, in fact, clowns. Jello saying, other than Tony Storm, what on AEW makes more than 0 cents? You're not wrong. You're not wrong in the least. Like, I'm still trying to figure out. We finally get Edge and Cope and Christian Cage back together. We finally have them together. And Edge is like, all right, cool, I'm out. What? Can I give you my thoughts on that?
Please.
Edge's contract is coming up. November-ish. 1st of November, end of October, I believe. So if Edge's contract is up at AEW, there is one match that everybody that's had something to say about it would love to see in the John Cena retirement run. And if he's not under contract with AEW, that is very much a possibility. You tell her I'm not going to say it again. After 3, she's just hogging up all the blessings.
Well,
Jello in the chat saying, don't say it. Well, I already did say it. It needs to happen. Even if that's all he comes back for and then retires, I'm good with it. Because like I've heard Jello say 100 times, he doesn't have any respect for any of the people that left WWE to go to AEW. And I understand his reasoning for it. But AEW or not, you cannot tell me that Edge versus John Cena in any iteration is not going to be an amazing match.
yes. I do believe that could possibly be that Saturday night's main event, the last match.
Kind of where I'm leaning. I feel like December 13th, I think it was the date. I think that's going to be the last match. You're absolutely right, Jello. No Cope in WWE ever. Only Edge. No Cope. I'm still mad at him for not teaming with Cope Cabana, because that could have been awesome. You'd had the Copa Cabana and it would have been cool. But no.
Because Tony Khan's a clown.
So let's get to some things that happened here locally recently. Squared Circle Pro. We had a show a couple Saturdays ago, and I'm going to run the matches with you, and then there's a couple of things that are very personal to myself and to Mike that we need to talk about. So let's run through the matches because it was a great card. Let me start by saying that. Absolutely a great card. We had the CWO along with Jesse the Kid James and Cisco Kid going up against Les Hommes. I have to say it right because the big dude yelled at me last time when I did it.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out there. Les Hommes impressed the hell out of me. Like, these guys, they're from the south of France. After the match, I got an opportunity to talk to them a little bit. These guys impressed the hell out of me. They were really, really good. They were not beat the CWO, Jesse James, and Cisco Kid good, but they were good. I would not be opposed to seeing them again.
This is true.
And Darkside, first off, what's up, Darkside? Glad you're here. Darkside in the chat saying the boys, which is what Les Hommes stand. That's what it's. Les Hommes is French for the boys. So it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Now, oh wait, Jello says fantasy next year. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. They both injure each other and both retire same night. Do not put that in the world. What are you doing, Jello? I mean, it'd be a good match, though. So, Mike, you had kind of a different role at Squared Circle Pro Bursary.
Yes, I did.
You were standing in for the one and only TJ Mundell.
Yes, I was.
Talk to us a little
Why
bit
I
about
was
that.
chosen is beyond me, but I I received a text message actually on my way to the venue and said, "This is all the stuff that's in order. You know, paper production's going to have the paperwork you need. Blah 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 blah." I had a whole list of things that he wanted me to work on, and one of those was when it, who whenever Jesse James and Cisco Kid, and I mean it was either if 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 the boys, I can't say the French thing because I'm not going to.
Les hommes.
If those guys won, then they would have been offered a contract. Jesse James, Cisco Kid, and
Joshua.
what is it, Joshua?
Yeah. Jesse's
Are
little
going,
brother.
yes, they were supposed to be. He said, offer these guys a contract. So I go out to do so, and things did not turn out well for me.
No, because out comes she who shall not be named, because I don't feel like being Joe Hendried. It
Very much so. And I did not say her name either, so I don't know what it. I know who it was. We're
Who
gonna
said her
blame this
name?
on Houston.
Houston, did you say her name? I bet Houston did. I bet Houston said her name. Of course, she comes out, and then Rick comes out and says, "No, we're not going to do that. I've got other things in the pipeline, so we're not going to put 3 contracts on these guys. They can fight each other. I don't care that they just had a match. They can fight each other, and whoever wins gets to have a contract, one contract."
I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, he is in his own right as president of Squared Circle Pro to do that. So we
Let me
had a
not
match.
let me not do this. He is president of Squared Circle Pro. No questions about none of this. He is president, and he is well within his right to do that. However, I think the things he had in the pipeline kind of got brought forward because Ryan Justice comes out from the back and grabs a mic, which was kind of awesome. I'm not going to lie. And that dude is a savage.
Very much so.
Like, he put things out there that, like, he's like, "Do you really want to test me? Like, I know where you sleep. I know where your dog is. I know about your," like, he got personal as hell.
Well,
Much to the crowd's delight, I might add.
yeah, I mean, he was definitely getting pops for it. And Rick turned around and said, "I don't want Ryan Justice. I want the Rogue."
Which is a dangerous request, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So we end up going
Absolutely.
into we end up going into the triple threat we were just talking about. Jesse the Kid, his brother Joshua, Cisco. There was some sibling rivalry in this match. Jesse would go for a pin, Joshua would pull him off. Joshua would go for a pin, Jesse would pull him off. There was some definite sibling rivalry there. When it's all said and done, Jesse the Kid gets the win to a huge pop from the crowd. Because that kid's got talent, and a lot of it.
He does.
And so he comes out, he comes to you, and tell the world what happened.
I hand him the contract. He signs the contract. Rick walks out the curtain. Jesse gives me the finger and hands Rick the contract.
It was terrible. The kid had such a bright future, and he turned on all the fans.
I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. This is not the first time that Jesse has done this to me.
That's fair. That is fair.
So there was a little part of me that was expecting something like that to happen. But if you listen back to the crowd, wait, you can't do that.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Don't worry.
Somebody in the crowd says, "Jesse, don't join the LZ administration." And that guy was like, "Damn, did I put that out in the world?"
That guy put that out in the world. So here's the thing. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Without question, Rick LZ is the president of Squared Circle Pro. He is the head of the LZ administration. And he has signed Jesse the Kid James. Now, what did I say a second ago? I said that he had such a bright future ahead of him. And he turned on the crowd. Because I don't care how high up the ladder you are, not to get all Cody Rhodes with it, but that crowd is the reason there's a Squared Circle Pro. That crowd is what keeps everything going. So you find yourself afoul of said crowd, and it becomes a problem.
Very much so.
On myself for a minute. Let's get back to matches. We had Aluvio and Jordan Slade up against La Migra. That, of course, being Diablo Blanco and Chris Watson. Sorry, I got a thing about Chris Watson.
We are well aware. We all are well aware. All of the things that you think about Chris Watson. And if you don't know the things he thinks about Chris Watson, go to the BCW Texas page and you can hear all about it, or you can hear all the edits that we had to do whenever he was talking about Chris Watson.
Because there actually is video for that. I've referenced it a couple of times. I'm just throwing it out there. Mysteriously, there was a technical issue, so there's no video of this particular show available. None that is officially released anyway. I'll leave it at that. But I have my thoughts on what happened there. A bit of a tech guy myself. Mike, so are you. I mean, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Aluvio and Jordan Slade versus La Migra. I mean, it was a good match. La Migra did what La Migra does. As much as I like to talk shit about Chris Watson, the man is good in the ring. He takes care of business, as does Diablo. They were able to get the win. Aluvio caught one hell of a beatdown, and I hope he's okay. It was bad. Like, it was real bad.
And Jordan Slade joining the LZ administration.
Yeah, we found that out in the most interesting of ways. I was actually fixing to go into that. We had a street fight between Brian Rage Rivera and Baby Samoa. Of course, they, at one time, really good friends. At one time, they were tag team. They were Samoan Rage, or Island Rage. Excuse me. They were Island Rage. And they were a great tag team. And then it got ugly between them. And it's been that way ever since. So put them both in the ring, have a street fight. And what do we get? We get Jordan Slade comes out with a bag and just lays out Brian Rage Rivera and starts pulling things out of the bag. He pulls a brick out of the bag. Like a whole ass brick. It was crazy. And then pulls the camera out. Do you know what that says to me? Do you know him holding that camera out, what that says to me? All of these videos, this whole time, that was him. It had to have been.
Yep. He has indeed told on himself. I had to really think about how I was going to say that because my brain was not appropriate at the time.
Well, and I'm going to apologize to everybody now. I'm just going to go ahead and say for the rest of this, because I can already feel my blood pressure coming up some because I'm talking about things. You might put the kids to bed or put their earmuffs on because Uncle Guapo may say a few bad words.
Draven Reeves and JP Nitro.
Okay. I had a little fun with this one. I talking about telling on yourself. I'm going to tell on myself. For those of you that didn't see it, oh, wait, that's everybody that wasn't there because the video is missing. Every time I try to do some announcing, there is a young lady that I'm not going to say her name, comes into the ring with the attitude that's bigger than she is, and holds out her hand and give me the mic. So I did. It happened to have been a Miss Rachel mic, and I may or may not have told her that grown folk are trying to work, so she should go play in the corner. Well, I thought it was fine.
I'm not gonna lie. I was behind the curtain and I heard that and I was like, that was grand. Bravo. I actually gave you a standing ovation behind the curtain. You couldn't see it, but it was there.
I appreciate it. And then she threw the Miss Rachel mic. Ungrateful. Just threw it out of the ring. So she asked for the other mic. So I held it like this and told her she could have it. And then she told referee Kyle, make him give me the mic, which I finally did because referee Kyle made a good point that if I didn't, there's very probable that she was going to kick me in the nuts. And let's face it, I didn't want that. So the Draven Reeves JP Nitro match, may seem as though I'm picking on the LZ administration a little bit, but I kind of have reason. JP Nitro and Draven Reeves, they went at each other. It was a decent match, but when it came down to it, Draven Reeves got out of the ring and walked to the back. JP Nitro won this match via countout, which conveniently does not transfer the title.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, we called that chicken.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I said it. I ain't scared. That brings us to Nolan Phillips versus Lau and Zach Morg. This one billed as a to be determined match. Nolan Phillips knew he was going against two people, had no idea who they were going to be. I'm going to tell you right now, I had to announce this match, and I did my best to put the referee in front of me, and the referee's like, no, you deal with that. I'm not, like, both of them, Lau and Zach Morgan, are just not people I want to mess with. Like, they're creepy as shit. Nolan held himself well. You know, we get ready to start the match, and some music hits, and out comes Miles' Journey. Your favorite hippie's favorite hippie. And he comes out, and he tells Nolan Phillips that, you know, you had me, now I've got you. Of course, referencing the fact that he shook his hand, and, you know, there was some camaraderie there. So he says, I need somebody to come out right now and make this a tag team match, which you did. Came out with the thumbs up.
Well, I was trying that.
You were doing WWTJD.
Yeah. Exactly.
What would DJ do? So we get the thumbs up, and the match starts, and we've got ourselves a tag team match going on. And it was actually kind of funny. Sitting where I was, I could hear Nolan talking to Miles Journey and saying, before you agree to this, look over there at what we're facing. And I'll give it to Miles Journey. He's like, I'm in. So they have their match. Miles was quite the cheerleader. Come on, Nolan, holding his hand out. And when Nolan finally gets to a point he can make a tag, Miles Journey jumps off the apron.
And the smile completely leaves his face.
Yes, it did, as it did everybody else's. And we find that, surprise, surprise, Miles Journey has chosen the LZ administration. Now, there's some things that happen right after this, and we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the main event first. You had Tino Valentino and Phoenix versus Gringo and Rimson. Gringo Loco and Rimson. Rimson's a beast. I don't think I have to tell any of you that. Anybody that's ever seen him wrestle knows why they call him the ring bully. Gringo is Gringo. I mean, there's a reason he's in charge of La Migra. But when you put Tino Valentino and the American Tragedy Phoenix together, you're in trouble. The match was great. Didn't get to see a lot of it firsthand. I've seen a little bit of fan footage, and I've seen some, I've heard about it. I'll explain why in a minute. But when it's all said and done, it's Tino and Phoenix standing tall, as it should be. Like, that's the way it should be, 100%. I believe there was even a dive over the top rope from one American Tragedy Phoenix, which was awesome. But let's get into why I didn't see much of this match. You see, at the end of the Nolan Phillips versus Lau and Zach Morg match, it was straight beatdown. And it was several people coming out and getting beat down. And while we had staff come in and try to help, they were getting beat down. I pleaded. I asked Rick to stop. What is this? I asked Rick to not do this because this isn't the Squared Circle Pro. Of course. Hi, Rick.
Did you forget that I have collaboration credentials and I can pop in anytime I want to?
Yeah, we'll fix that.
Okay, good. That's great.
You're just in time because I'm
I
telling
know.
everybody about kind of what happened here, about how I pled with you to stop this beatdown. I pled with you to stop whatever this is that you're doing that has changed the Squared Circle Pro that we all know and love. And then you put your hands on me. You want to grab me by my shirt, push me into a corner, tell me to do my job. As I tried to tell you there, I'm going to tell you now. I've been doing my job. I sat back and watched you destroy what you created. I sat back and didn't say a damn word about it. I watched you fire the people that have supported you for years upon years upon years, like they were nothing. In comes Mike. The two of you have a conversation, and then I get grabbed from behind in a chokehold by Zach Moore, dragged to the ring post, had my leg wrapped around the ring post. I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking. And then Lau misted me in my face.
Twice.
And I can't help, like, I have refrained from saying anything about it because I need to see exactly what it is. But I can't help but feel that this was somewhat orchestrated by you and I'd like for you to explain yourself.
Explaining myself, first off, I don't have to explain myself to anybody, much less you. But I will say this. Your narrative is very interesting. It seems to be the same narrative that everyone else uses when they enter FAFO territory. So I will just say this. You didn't just plead with me. You were screaming in my face. That's why I brought you into the ring. That's why I put my hands on you into the corner so that I can make a point. I've never screamed at you. I've never yelled at you. I've never done anything like that. Matter of fact, I put you over all the time. So here's the thing. Let's go back to what you're talking about me destroying things and firing people that have been loyal to me. You seriously think that Josh Ryan was loyal to me? You seriously think of the things that he said that he was loyal to me?
10 years he stuck by your side.
10 years, I found something for him to do because nobody else wanted to give him the option to do it. So again, interesting narrative. Lilith walked out on me. So don't put that on me. She's the one who walked out. Everybody else, look, what did I say in May? I told everybody how this was going to, I lined it out, and that's the way we're doing it. Nolan is the first person who stepped to me. I offered him everything. He stepped to me. He made the proclamation that he's the smartest guy. He's my pet project, and everybody knows he's my pet project. So when I send two guys out there to do what they're supposed to do, ringing the fucking bell and having the staff come in to try and no. And here's the thing, those staff are all trainees. It's their job to get their ass beat, and that's what happened. So for you getting upset about the staff getting beat up, again, FAFO, they're the ones who got involved in something that I specifically dropped the edict down that I want nobody to get involved in, and that's Nolan Phillips. He's my pet project. Now, I will say this. The misting thing and the leg around the pole thing, I did not give directions for those things to happen. They just happened. That's a product of the environment. How long have you been around wrestling? How many times have you gone to training and been told and warned about all the things that can happen?
Oh, I've been around long enough to know the things that can happen. My problem is, as Mike came in and you talked to Mike, I tried to split you up because you said something that was very personal. I'm not going to repeat it here because it was very personal between you and Mike. It was fucked up, but it was very personal between you and Mike, and I'm not going to repeat it. And I tried to get between the two of you to let cooler heads prevail. But there was a motion that you made. And granted, that's why I'm hoping we got some fan footage of that somewhere, because I saw it out of my periphery, so I can't say I was looking straight at it, but there's a motion that was made that seems to make me feel that you called them over for that.
I called them over to get you out of my business, but I didn't tell them what to do to you. But yes, I did wave them over to get you out of my business, because my business at that moment was with Mike, because Mike's the one who charged the ring. Mike's the one who got in my face. Mike's the one who came at me. So I needed you out of there at that point. I had everything I needed to say to you. It had transferred now over to Mike.
I see.
And let's talk about the footage thing for a second, because I was sitting in my room listening to the show and before I decided to pop on because I'd heard enough. So let's talk about this footage thing.
Okay.
I think it's ridiculous for anybody to insinuate, and that's what all of you have been doing for the last 2 weeks. online, all of you in your little groups, chatting it up, talking about it. All that people have done is insinuate everything but flat out accuse me of deleting the footage. I don't know if you remember or not, other than the Mike or other than the Ryan Justice moment, everything else on that show went exactly the way I said it was going to go. It was a great night for the LZ administration. Why wouldn't I want people to see that? But I know that TJ has gone and purchased independent footage. I saw the little press release. I'm sure that it's coming from Richie Wong because everybody's in the circle jerk together. So here's the thing. That's fine. They can put all the footage out in the world that they want to put out. All that footage is going to do is do exactly what I've already done, and that is prophesize what is about to take place. We are headed into Pieces for Quitters, and things are decidedly in my favor. Oh, and by the way, Mike decided to stick around. He thinks for some reason this is going to punish me or piss me off, whatever. But he's decided to stick around backstage because he does run the backstage very, very well. November 22nd, I don't need to see you, John, because you're not on the show.
You're firing me? Is that what we're doing here?
Did I say fired? Those are your words, not mine. I just said you're not on the show. But it sounds like you'd like to get fired. So would you like to get fired? Or do you want to be Lilith and quit?
You couldn't make me quit if you tried, Rick.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Like perhaps maybe you did try. So I'm letting you know. Send your little goons, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You couldn't make me quit.
That sounds like a challenge.
It is what it is.
Well, then this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off because I've said what I needed to say. You guys can go ahead and continue to cluck about shit you don't know anything about. Talk to you later.
This fucking guy. Patrick, I don't know what the hell happened there, but any credentials he's got, yank them and do it right fucking now. I would like to apologize to my viewers for that exchange. Breath. Mike?
Guapo?
It's 9:28. You know what? We're coming up on the end of the podcast. Mike, my friend, I'm going to turn it over to you for final thoughts. Please talk to our people viewing, our people listening, and the wrestling world in general. The floor is yours, my friend.
I've got a headache. And I'm still trying to process everything that happened. Tell you what, go check out the Texan Tag Team podcast. You can hear my interaction with Rick.
I'm going to guess it went a little better than mine.
Considering he's stubborn, it was what it was, but those guys are good guys. So
they are. I completely agree with you in go check out Texan Tag Team podcast. They're Houston and Reese. They're awesome. Check them out for sure.
So I'm speechless. Let's tune in next week, folks.
I guess that brings it to me for final thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, I love professional wrestling. I love West Texas independent professional wrestling. It's something that's in my soul. I get a rush from being at the shows, from working the shows, from getting to sit here and talk about the shows with you guys. I love each and every one of you for allowing me this opportunity to do that, allowing me to have this platform to talk wrestling with you. And I would say anytime you get the opportunity to go to an independent wrestling show, please do. Because you'll find yourself just as into it and a part of it as I am. To that end, I get upset when people try to wreck something that's good, try to destroy something that is good. And that is what I feel like Rick Elzy has done with his Elzy administration. He's doing his very best to ruin something that's good. But I'll tell you this, I don't care what that fat fuck does. You will not ruin Squared Circle Pro, because it's not you, Rick, that makes the rules and what everybody's going to do. It's that crowd, and that crowd will always support the real Squared Circle Pro. I don't know what else to say about what just happened on here. I don't know what's going to happen from that. Don't really care. I will tell you this. I don't give a shit what he said. I will be at Pieces for Quitters. Mike, he said that you've decided to stay too. And while I don't agree with much of what he had to say, I do agree with the fact that you do a great job running the backstage area. And I want to throw that out there for you.
Oh, I do take pride in my work.
Darkside says he has something to say. By all means, Darkside, what do you have to say? While he's typing that out. I'm not 100% how things are going to turn out, but what I will tell you is going to happen is the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast will be here for whatever does happen. Because we're not here for Guapo, and we're not here for we're here for you guys, and you guys are always here for us. And once again, I want to say I appreciate everybody that joins and watches and interacts with the chat and goes back and watches it later, even just listens to the audio. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you know that. I'll give just a couple of seconds for Darkside to say what he has to say. We have, I don't know if I put this out there yet, but this month, the month of October, is a very busy month for your boy, for you as well, Mike. We work for an awesome place called Nightmare on 19th Street. So because of the hours that Nightmare on 19th Street are open, starting in 2 weeks, we will have 3 weeks in a row that the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast will be on a Wednesday night. Be watching the socials. We're going to put this out there as well. But starting the week of the 13th, instead of Thursday, we will be on Wednesday, because we'll be working Nightmare on Thursday. So be looking for that in the socials. Mike, you got anything else?
Looks like we're going to have to find somebody else to co-host whenever I can't be here.
Well, I've got some people. I can tell you who it ain't going to be.
You don't say.
Darkside says, Guapo, Mike, regardless of the sides, I feel like you both do a great job at both Squared Circle Pro and BCW, and I always enjoy seeing you. Darkside, that means the world to me. I appreciate that. Enjoy having you at the shows, man. It's a lot of fun, and that may be a thing. I may bring you on to co-host with me one of these days, because there's a spot available now. That being said, we have hit the 9:34 mark. We're about 4 minutes past, so we're going to go ahead and shut it down. But again, thank you to everybody who's joined. Mike, thank you for joining me. Rick, fuck you. Until next time, I am your host, Guapo. That's Mike Caldwell. We'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
I'm gonna inside my head.